All right, man. We're not even doing the intro, the waiting room today. We're going straight to it, man. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Winner's Diet Show. I am your host, Max Solomon, aka Project Mac. What is going on with the people of today, man? What's going on? Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. Christmas Eve show, man. You know we had to do it. We had to get it done. I was contemplating about doing a Christmas Eve show, but I was like, man, we got to do a Christmas Eve show. And I was going to show up, I know it's the holiday spirit. I don't have it today on me. I was going to put a one of those Santa Claus hats on me, but it is what it is, man. But we're here nonetheless. So we are showing up on a Christmas Eve holiday, the night before Christmas. So we have to get this information in and this message out, even on the holidays, man. While everybody else is shutting it down for the rest of the year, man, we here working. We're still putting out clips. Um, Instagram, actually, speaking of clips, our Instagram is actually growing. Um, so that's been surprising. That's been very surprising. The Instagram now that we're posting clips on, I was posting about 3 clips a day. Now I cut it back to 1 clip a day, and I've seen a an explosion in engagement. So we're seeing more engagement now. We're seeing more people follow us now on the Instagram. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Winners Diet Club on Instagram and TikTok. But now that I've been posting 1 time a day on Instagram, we're seeing a lot more engagement and a lot more following happening. So that's great because we were stuck for a long time. I was like really not even moving, but now we're starting to kind of pick up steam, which is great. Um, views are the views are higher than they've ever been, which is amazing. So now we just got to keep putting out clips every single day, which we've been doing, but now it's just breaking down to one a day. And shout out to Chat GPT for helping me out with that. They said, Instagram is not like TikTok. So you can't post at the same frequency that you do on TikTok on Instagram. Guess that's a game for you guys that's trying to grow your following on Instagram. Don't treat it like TikTok. TikTok rewards frequency. So TikTok rewards, you know, 2, 3, 4 clips a day. They'll push you up the algorithm. But when it comes to Instagram, I guess it's a little bit different with Instagram. Instagram, they want to make sure that you are getting all the attention on one post. So that's all I've been doing, man. I've been cutting back on how often I've been posting, and so far it's been working. So I'm gonna keep doing that same routine, man, until something changes. But shout out to Chat GPT for that, man. They've been helping me out with with the posting content style. So that's a little blue chip for you guys that are trying to grow, man, on Instagram is I guess don't post too many times a day, post maybe 1, maybe 2 times a day at the most if you want to grow your Instagram. So that's just a key point right there. But anyway, man, we got a great show today. Shout out to everybody in here. We got 12 of y'all in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. While you're in here, please hit that like button. Please, please, please. If there's anything I can ask you guys right now, is to please hit that like button. Even if you're going to stay for 2 seconds, please just hit the like button. Push us up the algorithm. All right. But anyway, we got a great show lined up for you guys today, man. We are talking about how, or if, we're debating if can fitness save the world in 2026. So that will be the main topic of today's show. Please stick around towards the end at the 50-minute mark for that. But until then, we have our first 2 segments. One, the Fit Report, where we report on fitness news, things going on in the fitness industry. So we'll be tackling that, and then we have our second segment, what the fitness, reacting to viral, trendy fitness videos or anything that is winner's diet related. So make sure you guys hit that like button, man. We're gonna have a great show today. Shout out to all 10 of you guys in the show, in the chat, watching, showing support. Please, again, make sure you guys hit that like button. And before we get into it, man, a little word from our sponsors. If you guys are looking to change your body in 7 days and get the knowledge, I have my free 7-day fat loss guide. So if you guys are confused as to where to start, how to start, you're tired of starting over, make sure you guys tap in with my free 7-day fat loss guide. It's here in the chat. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing. Okay. I have other things that are for sale, but this is the only free thing I have for you guys. So giving you guys just the insight on nutrition, workouts, the mindset it takes to lose fat. So make sure you guys tap in with that. It's free, and you can get that at thewinnersdietclub.com. All right. Anyway, let's get into it, man. Without further ado, let's tap in with the first article here. Okay, we got some chats. Catherine Rodriguez, what's up? What's up, my dear? How you doing? We appreciate you for tapping in. I hope you are having a great holiday season. If you need some help, Catherine Rodriguez 8260. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right, let's get into today's show, man. Where was I? All right, here we go. Let's get into today's first topic. All right, so we got here, people who feel rich before they're rich are the ones who actually get rich. So Intel's says a new personal finance study suggests that people who adopt a wealthy mindset early in life are more likely to reach higher income levels later on. Researchers say the belief system people develop around money, confidence, and success plays a major role in long-term financial growth. The study highlights that individuals who visualize abundance, invest in self-improvement, and make decisions based on future potential tend to move into higher earning positions over time. Experts note that mindset remains one of the strongest predictors of upward mobility. Okay. Yeah, man. Look, man, this is very common, right? Everything happens before it happens due to your mindset, right? So anything that you want, whether that be a new job, a new business, a different relationships, it all starts with your mindset, man. And I had to really understand this early on when it came to me just moving out of the Bay Area, moving to LA, starting a new life. Like, this was everything that I had envisioned first before it actually came true. I was seeing a lot of my peers live out their dreams, and yeah, sometimes you get a little bit jealous, you be a little envious, but at the same time it was motivation for me. I saw people that were in the field I wanted to be in, right? Because before I moved to LA, I wanted to be a celebrity trainer. That was my first initial goal. I wanted to train celebrities. I wanted to be in Hollywood. I wanted to train the best of the best. And I got to do that, right? But it did not happen until I painted that picture in my mind. I had to visualize myself doing these things before it happened. So I'm saying this to say, bringing it back to your fitness journey, if you want to get in shape, you have to be like, your mind has to be there before it happens. You have to visually see yourself in shape before it happens. You have to visually see yourself working out and being consistent before results actually happen. It's not going to happen because you say you want it to happen. It's going to happen because, one, you have to visualize it, and then two, you have to execute. So those are two things. These are two critical components that separate a lot of people from achieving it or not achieving it. So I had to really put this out there. I wanted to be a celebrity trainer. Then I had to visualize myself doing it. Then I went and actually, excuse me, I actually took action on that, right? I took action and I moved myself and put myself in that environment to do that. And it didn't happen overnight. No, it didn't happen as soon as I got there. I had to eat shit like everybody else. But eventually I kept grinding. I stayed consistent and eventually it happened. And now I'm moving on to different and better things and new projects. That chapter was closed. It was great, but now I'm moving on to a different situation. So it doesn't matter what type of field you're in. It doesn't matter what type of goals you have. All that matters is one, you have to visualize it, and two, you have to act on it. Those are the only two things that matter. The only two things that matter is you visualizing and you taking action. Without those two things, it's meaningless. They're just words. You can write it down all you want. You can say it out loud and put it out into the universe. You can manifest it, like they say, right? But it doesn't happen until you actually take action on it and you do what the fuck you were supposed to be doing. You do what you said you were gonna do. That's when things change. But it doesn't happen just because you want it to happen. No, that's not how the world works. That's not how the universe rewards people. The universe rewards action and execution and consistency. And that's the same mentality that you have to have going into 2026 and beyond. When it comes to you staying in shape on the fitness journey, this is not an easy thing to do. It's not. The average person is going to fall off in less than 2 weeks. They'll be good for the first 3-4 days. They'll be posting on Instagram. They'll be telling their friends. They'll be taking before shots and after shots. But let's see where you are in 2 weeks. Let's see if you're going to commit to what you said after 2 weeks of not seeing any results. It's hard, man. It's a very hard process, but only the people that really want it are going to get it. And that's because they have the quality of those two things. That's it. Consistency, action, or action and excuse me, action and consistency. Exactly. Action and consistency. That's it. So, all right, man, let's move on to the second article here. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please and thank you. All right, here we go. We have another one. 90% of your happiness chemical is made in your stomach, not your brain. So serotonin plays a key role in mood, digestion, and sleep. About 90% of it is produced in the gastrointestinal tract, not the brain. The gut microbiome helps regulate serotonin production through signaling pathways connected to the nervous system. Gut health and mental health are deeply connected. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, and this is very true because if you look at a lot of people that have how do I say this without being, fuck it. If you have a shitty diet, if your diet sucks, if you have a diet high in processed food and lack of protein, and high sugar, well, your gut is not going to your gut is not going to connect with this as it should, right? Everything starts with your gut, then goes to your mind. What you feed your body goes to your brain, right? So if your diet is shitty, man, if your diet is shitty, then the food that you consume is going to shape how you feel. It's going to shape your mood. It's just going to shape how you go about your day, right? It sets the tone for that day. So if you have a shitty ass diet, which is basically a lifestyle, well, then you're going to be walking around here not in the best mood. You're not going to have the most energy. You're not going to be the sharpest. You're not going to be the most creative. Like all these things when it comes to food and the lifestyle around food plays a big role in how you feel going forward. So people have detoxes, they take their gut health serious because they understand how important their gut is to their mental health. Both things are connected. Most people that are overweight are not very happy. They're not very energetic. They don't have the best mood. They can project like they have a great mood, but we know deep down it's impossible based off of science. This is a scientific thing. Just because just because they project that they're happy doesn't mean that they are happy. There's a lot of people that can project that they're rich. Doesn't mean that they're rich. They're just projecting that they're rich. So the same thing can go to your mood. A lot of people know how to hide their mood, how to hide how they feel in that moment, whether it be with family, friends, interactions, but in reality, man, you'll be surprised how a lot of people really feel based off of their diet. And that is a big reason why. It's their diet. Your diet has to be aligned with how you want to operate out here. If your diet isn't aligned with, you know, um, high achievable goals, then it doesn't really make sense. You know, everything starts with the diet, it starts with the food, and then everything else follows. So your mental health has to be taken serious, but it doesn't start there until you take your diet serious. And that comes with you taking care of your gut because your gut breaks everything down, right? Your gut holds everything. It produces the happy hormones, and that sends signals to your brain. So everything, man, everything has to be taken serious. Take your diet serious. Watch what you eat. Consume high protein diets. These are just basic fundamental things, man, that everybody should know. So going into 2026, man, it's time to make a change. If this is you right now, if you feel like you're not at 100% of where you should be, take a look at your diet. Take a look at what you're putting in your body. Is it high caloric? Is it high processed? Is it a high sugar? Like, take a look at your diet. You do a whole audit on your diet. These things are very, very important, man. Do not have the same habits that you had in 2025 in 2026. We got to start making changes out here. It's a new year. We have to leave old habits behind us, and that includes lifestyle. You want to change your life, you got to change your lifestyle. All right, let's move on to the next article. Make sure you guys hit that like button here, please. Hit that subscribe button. We're dropping some nice game right now. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and tapping in. Please hit that like button. All right, here we go. Here's the next article here. Nothing kills you faster than your own mind. So don't stress over things beyond your control. Chronic worry can seriously harm your health. Constantly stressing over things beyond your control keeps your body's stress system constantly active. Over time, this chronic stress wears down key systems, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of illness and heart problems, including high blood pressure. Stress also floods your body with hormones like cortisol, which can disrupt digestion, cause headaches, and create persistent muscle tension. Mentally, this strain can lead to unhealthy coping habits such as overeating, smoking, or substance abuse use, which further damage your health. Learning to let go of what you cannot control isn't just good advice, it's essential for protecting your body and your mind. Absolutely. Look, man, nothing will kill you faster than stressing over things that you cannot control. Let me say that one more time. Nothing will kill you faster than stressing over things you cannot control. There's a lot of things that are out of my control. I can't control the weather. I can't control, excuse me. I can't control how somebody feels about me. I can't control somebody's actions. The only thing I can control, the only things I can control are my attitude and my effort. Two things. I can only control my attitude and my effort. And if you have those two things, there really isn't much to worry about. So I can't stress over things that coulda, shoulda, woulda happened that I had no control of. It just is what it is. Sometimes things are just not aligned in your favor, and that's okay. Everything isn't everything isn't meant to go right. You know, everything can't go right. Everything can't go in your way. Everything can't go your way. You can't always have things in your favor. Sometimes the universe is going to work the way it does, and that sometimes means you not really having your way, and that's all right. But as long as you're putting in a max amount of effort, as long as you are having a good attitude about it, and focusing on things that matter and things that you can change, there's really nothing else to worry about out here, man. I can't kill myself. There's a lot of things that happened in the past that I wish didn't happen, but it happened, and it's done. It's done now. It's gone. It came and went. I can't control it no more. It is what it is. But you'll have people over here stressing about, man, I should have did this, I should have did that, and maybe that wouldn't have happened. And you're putting yourself in a lose lose situation. One, the past is not coming back, so you can't change that. That's another thing, right? And then two, it's like you're harping on things that were out of your control in the first place. It is what it is. I can't control that somebody decided to drink and drive and now he hit my car. I can't control that. Could I have seen it earlier and got out the way? Sure, but again, man, things that are gonna happen are gonna happen. Like I don't have. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I can't. There's just certain things I'm not gonna beat myself up over because it wasn't. It didn't align with what I wanted. Excuse me. So I see people, man. I see people all the time. They're stressed. They're sad. They're just unhappy with life, and I get it. Because life can be very cruel to a lot of people. But man, as long as you can focus on things that are in your control, that's the best you can do. Like you're doing enough. To be honest with you, you're doing all that you can, and that's all that matters, man. Like no one out here is superhuman. Like we can only do so much as humans, you know. But you have to keep that stress under control, man, because that comes with a lot of things that can be destructive, right? Substance abuse, gambling, obesity, weight gain. So if you don't have these things under control, it will control you. And now you're in an even bigger hole than you were in the first place. So um just keep that in mind, man, because it's just something that people need to be aware of. Excuse me, guys. Today I'm going through it today. But just keep that in mind, man. Control what you can control. Those two things, your attitude and your effort. If you have those two things and you are doing it to the maximal capability that you can, you're going to be fine out here. You're going to be fine. All right, man. Let's move on to the second segment, What the Fitness. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and tapping in so far. All right, let's take a look at the first video here in What the Fitness. All right, so we have here, let me refresh this. The hardest decision you have to make in the gym, excuse me. All right, let's take a look.
We'll be closing in 2 minutes.
Yeah, man. It's 315 bench. What do you want? 10% body fat.
We'll be closing in 2 minutes.
Yeah. These are things that's very hard to do, man. Listen, listen. You can have one or the other, right? You can be really strong, like superhuman strength. But on the flip side, your body fat is going to be a lot higher. So, because you're going to have to one, lift heavier, and two, consume more calories. So that means your body fat is naturally going to get higher. It doesn't mean you're going to be a fat person, but you are going to be a lot heavier than normal. So, or you can be 10% body fat, which is a very low percentage, but your strength, it may not be there. Your strength may not be at the peak. You may not have peak performance, and your lifts may not be as great, but you're gonna look fantastic. So these are dynamics that most gym goers are gonna have to go through at some point. I've been in both situations. I haven't benched 315, and I probably would never bench 315, by the way. So that's never gonna be in my future. But I have lifted more than I normally do when I'm really in that bulking phase. When I'm bulking, I tend to lift a lot heavier than I normally do. And, as a result, one, I gain more muscle, but I also gain more body fat because I'm consuming a lot more calories in the process. So I may not have the six pack that I want. I may not have the body that I want, but my lifts are incredible. Now, when I'm cutting, this is a whole different ballgame. When I'm cutting, I'm still lifting heavy as much as I can, but I'm in a caloric deficit, right? My calories are a lot lower than normal. So I'm not gonna have the same performance that I normally do when I'm having either in a maintenance stage or in a surplus stage. So, when my calories are cut short, my energy isn't gonna be at the where it needs to be. My energy won't be there, and my strength won't be there, but I'll have a lower body fat percentage, which makes me look great in the process. But just when it comes to gym dynamics and performance, that's going to take a huge hit. So you sometimes, man, 98% of the time you have to choose one or the other. Very rarely can you have both. The only way the only way you can have both is if you're on gear. I'm sorry. That's the only logical way you can have both. You got to be on gear. I'm not promoting it. I'm not telling you to do it. But you'll see guys that are 6%, 8% body fat, lifting 315 10 times, deadlifting 500 pounds. And, it's just abnormal. And you kind of know, like you can tell, obviously. But I'm not saying go do that. That's not what I'm promoting here. But I'm just saying if you wanted to have both, that will be the route that you take. I know there might be somebody here saying, "Oh well, I'm not on gear and I can do both." Congratulations, bruh. Congratulations. We're not talking about you. I'm talking about the average gym goer. You cannot be 10% body fat and bench 315. You have to have one or the other. If you have both, which is very, very rare, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you're going to be on gear. It just is what it is, man. I'm not shaming y'all. I'm not shaming you for doing it. Shout out to you. More power to you. But I'm just saying the likelihood of you having both and not being on gear is very slim. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not trying to call out the gear bros. I'm not saying any of that. shout out to the Gear Bros. We appreciate you guys too, you know. But I'm just saying, very rarely can you have both things in place at the same time. So, all right, man. Let's move on. Let's get to the next video here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please. All right, we have this guy again. He's back. Um, talking about if trainers were honest, part two. I think we did part one a couple shows ago. So let me go ahead and refresh this real quick so we can get the full audio. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look. Uh-oh.
Yeah, eating healthy is
Hold on. Let me refresh it. Hold on. Having some technical difficulties. Here we go. Come on.
yeah, eating healthy is
Come on, man. What's going on?
expensive.
All right, you guys. I don't know what's going
But you
on.
did walk in here yesterday.
All right. Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Third time's the charm.
Eating healthy is expensive. But you did walk in here yesterday with a $9 Frappuccino and a $10 sandwich.
Yeah. Eating healthy is expensive until they want to eat what they want to eat. You know, so people will say, oh man, well, eating rice and chicken and ground turkey is expensive. But if you look at their daily spending habits, you're going to find the opposite is true. You're going to find that they spend $10 on a caramel Frappuccino from Starbucks, and they're going to have a $15 footlong from Subway. And then for dinner, they're going to have a burger and some fries and a milkshake to wash it down. And it's just like you could have took that same money and bought a whole week's worth of meal prep. But let's continue.
I hear ya. Ah, okay, you'll start fresh on Monday. Yeah. Even though your body doesn't know what calendar day it is.
Yeah, I'll start on Monday. You know, I'll start January 1st. Your body doesn't know what day of the week it is. Your body doesn't know calendar days. It just knows your habits and what you constantly put in it. So it makes zero sense to start on a Monday thinking that your body is just naturally going to pick up and reset on Monday. It doesn't work that way.
See you then. Ah, okay, so you pulled a muscle while sleeping. Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're over 30 and severely dehydrated.
Yeah. A lot of people try to, blame their injuries on very random activities that they do, like sleeping, or I was walking and I pulled my hamstring. It doesn't happen that way. No, you got injured because one, you're out of shape, two, you're 30 plus, three, you don't move your body as you should, and four, you don't work out anyway. So yes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to naturally hurt yourself or just get injured a lot easier than someone that doesn't work out, or that someone that does work out. Like, the likelihood of you getting hurt is higher than someone that constantly works out.
Okay, you're not seeing results fast enough. And you've been here how many days? 4 days. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, this is definitely not a gym. This is a microwave. Yeah, you should have been there by now.
Yeah, you have a whole month worth of workouts to do. You know, you're seeing them 3 days a week, 12 sessions, and by the end of the month, they've only came to about 3 to 4 sessions. But now they're mad because, oh, I paid a trainer to see results and lose weight, and it didn't happen. Well, you weren't here enough for that to happen. You didn't follow the diet plan. You didn't drink enough water. You didn't get enough sleep. And just four, you were never here. So these are things that trainers have to go through constantly, man.
Yeah, eating healthy.
So yeah, man, shout out to this guy for breaking the game down and really exposing how the type of BS that trainers have to go through, man, on a day-to-day basis, dealing with regular clients. That's why I'm trying to get out of this business, bro. I'm trying to get out of that, in that lane. I've been in that lane the last decade. Um, and yes, it can be a very rewarding career to have, because yes, you are changing people's lives and you're impacting them in a positive way, and it's very rewarding, right? It's very rewarding, but at the same time, the BS, the BS and excuses that come with it, the headaches that come along with that reward, I've had to ask myself, is it even worth it? Constantly dealing with it over and over again, them hitting you at 5 a.m. Hey, I'm not going to make 6 a.m. session. Like, it's just, it's a lot to deal with, man. You really have to be a trained professional to deal with this. For as long as I have, like me, this is my last time doing this. Like, this go around, I'm not doing this again unless I want to. But I'm setting myself up to the point where I don't have to deal with private clients anymore in person. It's either going to be a one-on-one. I mean, it's either going to be online or it's going to be another project that I'm working on that I can't say here. But I'm working to remove myself from this type of situation here, take myself out of the one-on-one space so I don't have to deal with this constant headache that trainers have to go through every single time, and just put myself in a way easier position, a lane to have more focus on things that matter, man. So yeah, man, it's being a personal trainer, man, is not for the weak. Um, you really have to love it, and you really have to be dedicated towards it. Me, this is the only thing I know how to do. I'm not gonna go into a different lane because of this. You know, I've dealt with it the last 10 years and I'm cool with it, man. I can tolerate it, but at the same time, it's time for me to make a change and pivot out of that lane and go into a different direction, where I can still be a trainer, still be hands-on, but I'm not I'm not dealing with the same things I'm dealing with from 10 years ago. It's just, you can't keep doing this to yourself. So that's why I'm working on moving myself out of that situation. All right. Let's get to the next video here. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. All right, here you guys go, man. This is what the gym is going to look like in 2 weeks. Every gym owner in 2 weeks. Here we go. Yeah. Gyms are going to be eating in 2 weeks, man. I'm telling you. Hey, the gym is going to be eating in 2 weeks, bro. Come January 1st, it's gonna be a wrap out here. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a wrap. The gym is gonna look like a zoo. Memberships are gonna be going through the roof. People that haven't been there in years are gonna come back for the first 30 days, maybe, if that. But yeah, the gym is gonna be jumping, man, the next couple of weeks. So just be prepared for that. If you guys work out in the evening, I feel bad for you, man. If you guys work out in the evening, it's gonna be bad for you, because the gyms, it will be a zoo. There will be no machines at that time. The best time to go is midday, but I know a lot of you guys obviously work, so it probably won't work that well for you. But I will say, man, get to the gym as before peak hours if you can. If you can make it there before peak hours, you'll be fine. But the moment you go when it's peak time and everybody's off work, even in the morning, right? Even in the 6, 7 a.m., that also might be a busy time now going in 2 weeks. So just be prepared, man. Be prepared. Find a little area that you can work out in, but I hate that we have to go through this, man. Just people that haven't been to the gym in years and months. Now they want to come back, hog the machines, be on their phone. And they're not going to be really working anyway. They're just going to be on their phone, acting like they did something. And like, we know what the deal is. So it's going to be very interesting. But we'll see what happens. All right, let's get to this last one here. we're gonna get out of here pretty early today. We got one more to go. Let's take a look at the last video before the main topic of the day. All right, here we go. So this kind of goes into what we just saw. All right. This guy's talking about daily motivation. All right, let's take a look.
I expect to see you there tomorrow. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the world a better place, one less fat person at a time. This is the type of motivation a lot of you fat fucks need. Maybe a little harsh for some of you, but somebody has to fucking tell you. With that being said, get your fat ass up and go to the fucking gym, you fat bitch. And follow for more motivation. Fat fuck. Hey, I just left the gym, and I just want to say that I've seen a lot of you fat fucks in the gym, and I'm proud of y'all. I'm glad my videos are getting to y'all and helping you guys make a change. To you fat pieces of shit that weren't in the gym, I expect to see you there tomorrow. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the world a better place, one less fat person at a time. This is the type of motivation a lot of you fat fucks need. Maybe a little harsh for some of you, but somebody has to fucking tell you. With that being said, get your fat ass up and go to the fucking gym, you fat bitch. And follow for more motivation.
Well, there it is. You know, and I thought I was harsh. I thought I was harsh. He's way worse than me. He's way worse than me. But at the end of the day, man, that's all it comes down to. The only thing I disagree with him is I'm not trying to make the world a better place. I'm really not trying to save society. Maybe he is, but I just want to give game to the people that want it, that need it. You know, so if that's you, then great. I hope my message is resonating with you. But at the end of the day, man, we're just trying to make people better that want to be better. At least I am. You know, so if I have to call you out on you being a fat piece of shit, then that's what it's gonna be, man. And I hate to be vulgar. I hate to be, you know, very aggressive in that manner. But at the same time, sometimes we need to have harsh conversations. Sometimes we need to have uncomfortable conversations to really get the message through. Because a lot of people don't hear the message unless it's delivered in a certain tone or a certain way. And that's sometimes the way to reach the most people. So it is what it is, man. My post from last month is still triggering people when I talked about how I can tell if you're disciplined by the way I can tell if you're disciplined by the way your stomach looks. That post on TikTok is still doing numbers. I think it's like at 400K now. But yeah, sometimes, man, people need to hear certain messages a certain way. People need to hear it delivered in a certain way for them to resonate with it. So at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm not trying to pick on people. I'm just trying to really motivate people, man, and let them know that there's more to life, and they have more potential to be more than what they are currently. You know, we can all be more than what we are currently. And sometimes we need a little motivation from someone that can see that potential in us. Because a lot of us don't really know what we can do out here. Like a lot of us don't really know the type of things we can accomplish because we're just our mindset is fixed, right? We have a fixed mindset. We only think one way. We only see things in black and white. So when you have this type of mindset, it's very hard to see different perspectives, to see anything that can be outside of that realm of reality. So it's very important that, man, that sometimes we get around people that will tell us about ourselves in a positive way, but in a way where, hey, it may not be how we wanted to hear it, but at the same time, it's meant to help us, not hurt us. And that's what I'm really here for. Right. I'm here to spread positivity, spread motivation, and really just encourage people, man. Hey, you don't have to be fat all your life. You don't have to be a lazy piece of shit. You can really be in shape. You can really be out here and change your life. You can look like a whole different person in 6 months to a year. All you got to do is put the work in. All you got to do is put the cheese balls down. That's it. Put down the cheese balls and pick up some weights, and you can change your life in 6 months. That's it. So if that offends you, then hey, I might not be the one that's for you. I may not be the person that you need to hear it from, but there's a lot of things out here that we can accomplish, man, if we just put our if we just lock in and really just, man, get be around the right people, right? And let go of destructive habits that we've picked up along the years. All right, man. Let's take a look. We have the last. Oh, I think that's it. That's it. Okay. Let's get to the main event. All right. We're starting a little bit early today. 45 minutes in. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. All right, man. The main event. Today we're talking about if fitness can save the world in 2026. This has been a very interesting topic because I've constantly said on record that the world cannot be saved. We have the highest obesity rates. We have the highest rates of cancer. We have the highest rates of diseases. We have the highest rates of cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes. So I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the stats of just where we came from 1960 all the way now going into 2026, right? This is a period of 60 to 70 years. I'm looking at where we are from back then to now. The numbers have only increased as far as weight gain and diseases and cancer. The numbers have only gone up, and our productivity, our exercise has gone down. Our walking has gone down. Our movement has gone down. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying that, hey, there might not be I don't think this can be fixed. I don't think that we can save everybody from this, because it's only going to get worse and worse just based off the data, right? But here we are here today. I saw an article today. Let's pull this up real quick. It says, this is from Athletic News. Americans prioritize fitness budgets in 2026. A new survey shows fitness is a top spending priority for Americans, with many respondents indicating they'd rather spend less on dining out and travel first before cutting back on gym memberships instead. Fitness is holding its spot as a non-negotiable in 2026. A Health and Fitness Association survey points to Americans planning nearly 60 billion in fitness spending, even as many say they cut back on dining out and travel first. For operations, it's a clear signal value, results, and retention matter more than ever. And this is very interesting to see, man, because now you're seeing talks of RFK Jr. talking about putting gyms in airports. Because look, man, you're not going to stop traveling. You're not going to stop people from traveling. You're not going to stop people from eating out. They say this is what they want to do, but we have to look at what's actually happening. Folks are not going to stop traveling. They're not going to stop going to their favorite restaurants. And it just is what it is. The American lifestyle is a lazy lifestyle. I don't see that changing anytime soon. So when we look at data like this, when we look at articles like this, and they talk about how Americans are prioritizing fitness going into the new year, that's a great headline, right? That's great to see. It gives one hope. It looks like people are changing their mindset and their habits and the way they view fitness, because now they're seeing that their health is way more important and they're aging. So they're taking these things serious, right? More serious than they did when they were younger, which is great. But until the data changes, this is all just words. This is all just words, like, because we need to fix the main issues here before we see a rise in fitness, before we see a decrease in obesity rates, in diabetes and cancer. we need to see an increase in one, mental health, right? That's the first thing. But we can't get there until people develop discipline and they develop delayed gratification. These are the two main components that are connected with one's mental health. You can't have one without the other. So until we see a rise in people being more disciplined with the way they eat, with the way they live their life, without chasing instant gratification, and wanting things now, it's not going to be a very big change in the way we look as a society, how we feel all the time. But if we have these two things in place, if we go hard and we develop and really focus on discipline and delayed gratification, you're going to see a rise in increased mental health and great mental health, right? You're going to see a big jump in people's mental health being at an all-time high, people feeling great. And when you feel great, your mood is better, your focus is better, your emotions are regulated, right? And that's going to have a decrease in anxiety, depression, just impulsive behavior. So this is grounds for a healthier society. So I wish that this could happen, right? I wish that this is gonna be a consistent thing. It can be, but until these two things are solved, until we fix our mental health, until we fix our discipline and delay gratification, these are all just words, man. These are all just words. So, um, I don't think that fitness is gonna save the world, man. As it is now, as we stand here today, I don't think that we're gonna save. You can prioritize everything. You can put gyms in hotels and airports and resorts. You can put everything. You can replace, you know, it's just not gonna work. I'm just gonna sit here and tell you it's not gonna work. Like just prioritizing fitness is not enough. That's just the baseline. That's the foundation. What happens after that? What happens when you go home? Like because look, you can still have a great workout. You can still get it in, have the most amazing workout, burn all these calories. But if you don't have discipline, you're gonna go home and eat ice cream, eat some bullshit food, go to bed late, drink, still do drugs. Like, so the problem is not gonna fix itself. You still have the main problem that needs to be solved. So yeah, man, I don't think that this is gonna be something that we can fix. You can prioritize all you want. It doesn't make a difference. I wish that it was different. I wish that this is gonna be a game changing thing, but just by the numbers, just by the data, it's not gonna happen, man. It's not. Unfortunately. And I hate to be negative, but we have to go by the data. I'm a numbers guy. I always look at the numbers. The number says this. The number says we are getting unhealthier and unhealthier as years go by. Despite fitness being a $3 billion industry or whatever it was, definitely in the multi-billions, our health as a society is still in the decline. So we have to look at where is the disconnect? Where's the hole in the ship? The hole is the discipline. The hole is the delayed gratification. Those are two things that need to be fixed before society turns itself around. If it doesn't fix itself, if those two things are not addressed, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fitness does not matter if those two things are not addressed. If those two things are not fixed and solved, and our mental health increases, we have better mental health, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So anyway, man, that's been today's show. We got done a little bit early today, but that's okay. Shout out to everybody in here. We appreciate you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your Christmas holiday. We will not be here Friday morning. We may be back Friday night. We'll see how things go, but we'll definitely get it done before do another stream before the weekend ends. So you guys have a great time. Enjoy yourself with your families. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Winners Diet Club, and my personal Project Mac. You can also follow us on TikTok, Winners Diet Club, as well for more short clips. Besides that, man, you guys have a great rest of y'all holiday. I'll see you guys soon. Merry Christmas and good night.